Hey everybody, this is Tao at the Forge, and I am still suffering from pneumonia. I actually have a number of videos that I want to be able to make and stuff like that, and I haven't been producing anything lately just because mainly I've been laying in bed and either shivering or coughing. But the chest is clear now, which is good, but it's just been coughing like pretty badly. And so anyways, it's been really difficult for me to do anything. But I did get a couple boxes of Dominaria. I'm going to do booster box opening today. I'm going to have to maybe stop the filming every once in a while. It's because I might have a fit of coughing. Yeah, anyways, it's just been awful. So let's get to this. Alright, so anyways, like, yeah, it's been pretty terrible. Like, I just want to say, like, I've been coughing a lot, and because I've been coughing a lot, then I got actually a throat infection, which just really sucks. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so just when I had just said that I was going to open that up, then my battery on my camera died, so I had to go charge it, and, well, we're back. So here we really are. So let's open up the first pack here. Oh, interesting. Oh, just opened it upside down. Okay. So, I'm not going to really... Homrid just reminds me of the worst cards in Magic Homrid, where, you know, it's just awful with the stupid tide counters and stuff like that. So, let me just adjust this here a bit. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, Homrid's... I don't know. I can never really take it seriously. Alright, so anyways... Oh, short side. I love the artwork here. The artwork sounds, looks amazing. So, alright. So, settle the score. Oh, Hinterland Harbor. Sweet. That's actually pretty decent. Okay. Tiana Ship's Caretaker. I always think this one's funny. Tiana Ship's Caretaker. Because, like, how powerful do the beings have to be where the caretaker looks like an angel? Like, the crew of the ship is so powerful that the caretaker is an angel, right? So, I mean, like, that's kind of ridiculous, but, alright, let's get through these here. Alright, so Coldwater Snapper. Cabal Paladin is actually pretty cool as far as a knight goes. But at 4 mana, it's pretty high up on the end of the curve. So, okay, so we got Memorial to Unity, Champion of the Flame, Warcry Phoenix, and Zahid, Djinn of the Lamp. Right, and what? Oh, maybe that was the legendary. Oh, okay. I thought it was guaranteed to have a legendary, or maybe that's what it was. Alright, well, okay. So, continuing on, pack 3. Okay, we've got Dash Onagard, Syncopate. Syncopate's actually a cool spell. We're going to just jump right to the uncommons. Elfhane Druid, Lingering Phantasm, Spore Crown Salad, and Squee the Immortal. Alright. Squee's actually a pretty cool character in that it's just almost impossible to get rid of him. Like, yes, there are ways, but, you know, he's, in a way, Squee reminds me of, what's it called, what's his name, Norn the Wary, right, so, okay, so, G2 Chronicler, okay, so, let's, Guardians of Koilos, Fungal Infection, man, that's something you don't want to really say, like, meet someone at FNM, you're like, hey, I got a fungal infection, you want to trade? So, okay. Tempest Djinn. Okay. Well, I guess it's pretty good in an all-blue deck. A flying 3 mana, well, I guess it would be 3/4 at least if you played it in mono blue, so not bad. And a foil, Yavimaya Shepherd. And Arvad the Cursed. Alright, so, looking pretty good. I have to say, I'm pleased with Dominaria. I think that, you know, the other sets have been kind of weak and, you know, not really that exciting. But I guess Ixalan was okay as far as the dinosaurs and everything. My only concern is that it's going to be difficult. Thran Temporal Gateway. Wow, alright. That's going to be like a interesting commander card eventually. Grun the Lonely King. Alright. Yeah, the only thing is that, like, I don't know how the synergy between sets is going to work. Right? So, you know, I guess there's ways to find out, but, like, to see how it's going to work. But, like, in Standard, it's kind of weird because, like, you have all these sets that have nothing to do with each other. So, it'd be neat to see, like, how you can make things work together. Okay, so Sorcerer's Wand, Clifftop Retreat, alright. And Slyn Voda, the Rising Deep. Okay. Oh, and a Saproling token. I should be sticking the land separate too, but whatever. I'll do that later. So, artwork in this set is really good. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. Okay, so yeah, oh, Land of War Elves. That's actually a nice card to pick up. Memorial to Folly. So, okay, Dread Shade. Alright. That's actually a nice feature too. This +1/+1 till end of turn. Right? So you get him out the next turn, he could be a 6/6, right? Like, so, I mean, it's alright. And Danitha. So, yeah, like, just being sick just really sucks a lot, right? Like, I haven't been able to really play anything or do anything. Just been pretty much like, oh, nice. Just been pretty much like confined to bed. Teferi! All right, there's my man. All right. And Whisper Blood Liturgist. Alright, so let's keep going here. I've only had to stop the camera like 4 times already for coughing, but we'll get there. Okay. I got a foil in there, back there, so what's going on here? Amaranthine Wall. Gains it, alright, an Indestructible. Sentinel of the Pure Pearl Trident. Foil, Memorial to Folly, and oh, Marwyn the Nurturer. That's actually pretty sweet. I like that too. Okay, and an Elemental Token. Alright. I love the artwork in this set too. I mean, it just feels like Magic should. Right now, a lot of people are saying that, you know, Magic is dying. I'm not sure if it is. Yes, I would agree that the numbers are probably down. Darga's reincarnated. Alright, cool, cool. I'll take it. Halar the Fire Fletcher. Okay. And the Goblin token. So let's say the numbers are down, and some people are saying it's like 20%. Now, the thing is, what they're doing is they're always counting growth from the previous years. So, like, sometimes like you have a boom, and you know, people, like, you know, and then you say, well, it's down from the boom, but what it is you're counting it from a time when it was really strong, right? Like Jaya's Immolating Inferno, okay. Demonic Vigor foil. I think do I have another Shanna? Whatever, Shanna and Saproling. Now, one of the things is that, like I said, is that it's possible that we're just counting that from like a time when there was like an abnormally high bump in the numbers from people playing. But on the other hand, I would say that it's hard to pin down exactly why, you know, numbers could be down, right? It's likely that, you know, it's a number of different things. Like, for instance, it could be that people just, I already had that, but it's likely that people, oh man, this box, Karn, right? That's like a $40 card right now. And Valduk. Alright, it's possible that people just nowadays just don't want to go to FNM that much anymore, you know, or maybe they would go to FNM, but they need better reasons to. it's so weird. Some of these decks, like when I always open them up like this side facing up, and some of them have are like this, and then other ones are facing the other direction. So it's kind of strange. Usually they're packed all the same. But anyways, it's possible that people, want to go. But one thing is that the barrier to entry is very, very very high, right? And what I mean by that is that if you want to get into Magic the Gathering, you got to contribute. You got to be able to put in a lot of money, right? Like, I get a lot of people into Magic. Like, that's just something I like doing. Especially teenagers. And here's the thing: a lot of the Magic the Gathering players are older people, like 30 to 40 years old, right? Now, the problem with that is that we're getting older and we get other commitments, right? So we got like kids, and we might get our kids involved if that's their thing. Like, I'm trying to get my son involved, but he's just okay with it. He doesn't just love it to death or anything like that. So I mean, I'm not going to force him into it, but we need to get more young blood into the game, and it's hard to do that when you have to pay so much money to play Standard. Right, so Sylvan Awakening, all lands you control become 2/2 elemental creatures with reach, indestructible, and haste. Could be a way to finish out the game. Garna of the Blood Flame. Alright, nice. So that's the thing, is that Standard is just such an expensive format to be in. Alright, even Modern actually is pretty expensive. Okay, here's the thing. I have a play group of young people that I've gotten involved in the game, and they're all 15 to 20 or 15 to 18 years old. Right? You give someone some cards, and yeah, they like the game a lot. But then one person, right, starts upgrading their deck, and that's okay. But the other people can't afford it. Banalish Marshall. And oh, nice. Elise. And then what happens is, then there's a big power difference, and it becomes basically pay to win, right? And so people just can't keep up. And when you're talking about Standard, to get a decent Standard competitive deck, right? You got to be willing to kick in at least $100, right? And okay, yes, in any hobby like fishing, you're probably gonna have to pay at least $100 to get into it, right? So, oh, foil forest, that's actually quite gorgeous, right? Demon Lord Belzennock, nice. So I mean, yeah, it makes sense that yes, there is a cost of entry of everything, but the difference between something like fishing and something like Magic is that in fishing, once I buy that rod, I can use it again and again for basically forever. And in Magic, that's not going to last me that long, and very soon I'm going to have to basically put more money into it, right? So young people just can't, oh, gorgeous. People just can't afford, young people usually just can't afford to keep buying into Standard to keep it going, right? I think they need to lower the price in the Standard. The problem is they've created this sort of monster where, there's this price memory, and so now that people have spent a lot of money on, these Standard decks, they don't want to lose their money, and rightfully so. I mean, it makes sense, but at the same time, I think that we're kind of hurting our own game here. Oh, nice. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think Standard's just too expensive? I got Teferi and the Emblem. Huh, nice. So I mean, yeah, I think that we could. I don't know. There's got to be a better way. I think we need to lower the price of Standard a little bit. Doesn't the thing is that when Standard it used to be when I got into it, Standard was $100 to $200, and Modern was $400 to $800. Now, and there's some decks, of course, that were on the edges, on the top ends of those as well. But nowadays, when you're talking about Standard, you're talking $300-400, to play Standard. And you know, I don't think that that's necessarily reasonable, especially for young people, right? I think like, you know, they just can't get into it. And the problem is not getting young people into it is that like those are the people that are growing the game, and those are the people that are going to bring their friends, right? Like older people like myself, I don't have like, you know, 100 people at school or 30 people at school that I'm going to get together with, you know, and tell them about it and get them into it. And, you know, Grand Warlord Rada, okay, and Sapperling. You know, whereas young people could really do that. I think, like, if you look at McDonald's, it's a great example, is that McDonald's, you know, they target young kids all the time. You know, they say they don't, but come on, like, they're giving away free books and Happy Meals, and everything is about kids there. Why? Well, because they made it an institution, right? Like, so young people have such a good experience there, then you know, they want to go back. Isolated Chapel, Fugitive, right? You know, and then when they become older, then they go there and they introduce their kids there, because that's just what you do. You know, McDonald's is just so good at getting kids involved, right? And I think that that's what we need to do, is get like young kids involved in this. Like, you know, maybe it's too complicated for like 8-year-olds. Like, I know there are some people who are, you know, that young who are playing, but, you know, I think like getting people involved who are, you know, like maybe, I don't know, 12 to 15, like targeting that age is probably, you know, pretty good. You know, would be a good way to do this. All right, Bells and Lock, Rona. All right, so, I mean, what do you think? Like, you know, I'm afraid that maybe the game, you know, might be, I don't know if it's dying, but I'd say contracting, right? That it was expanding. A lot more people were trying it. But now I think it's contracting with the numbers, and so fewer people are trying it, and some people are walking away, right? So, nice. So many new commanders. You know, so I don't know. That's kind of it's kind of a tough one. You know, another thing I wanted to talk about is just like there seems to be kind of like this rift in the online community, and not like there's some people, some channels who are just like overwhelmingly negative, you know, and they just like see everything in a bad light, and I really don't like that, you know. But then you have other people who are just like almost like shills to Wizards of the Coast. They say like no matter what they do, like, you know, that they're the best, right? And that's not true either. But, you know, criticism where criticism's due, but on the other hand, like they're not like just all evil, you know. Like it's hard to ascribe just like harmful intent to literally everything someone does, you know. So I mean, the other thing is that like it creates a sort of like us versus them mentality, you know, and I think it makes things makes things kind of unhealthy, and makes it so people don't really want to play there. Like, you know, I think that we need to kind of lighten up a bit. Remember, it's just a game, you know, and, you know, maybe not be so hard on each other. You know, like I've offered criticism of other channels at some point, like not criticism, but saying I don't agree. And then I have had people like just like, you know, almost out and out attack me. You know, I'm like, okay, well, if you don't agree with me, then that's fine. Like, you don't have to agree, right? But you have Yawgmoth's Vile Offering, all right. Well, Foil Ben Alishgard. Run the Lonely King. All right. Maybe he's so lonely because he got all those like spikes all over him. All right. But, you know, I think we need to kind of take it easy. You know, I think I would like to say I belong to part of the community that's pretty positive. Like, you know, like the kitchen table MTG community. You know, like that we actually, like the people in that community and the channels there are overwhelmingly positive. Like, you got like Bob Gar the Warbarian, and I think AlbyMTG's in there. Like, there's like just a whole bunch of other ones. Like, you know, like for some reason I just can't think of at the time. But I mean, overall, like, you know, like that community is super supportive of each other. You know, like we try and promote each other. you know, I'll put links, a couple links in the description of the video about like different channels like that there might be, you know, and check them out, you know, give them love. You know, I think that's how it should be, you know, rather than trying to say like, you know, if you follow this guy or you have this opinion, then you're a shill or whatever. That's not really, you know, that's not really helpful to the community. You know, so I think that we could actually do, oh, nice. I have to say, I do love the new legendary borders. You know, I think we could do better by that. You know, help to grow the community, get people in. You know, so I'm not sure what to do, like to try and get more young people in. Like I try and give away decks, but it gets expensive. You know, like to put together even a decent deck. Like let's say even if it's $20, right? That's a really budget deck. You know, but if you have a $20 deck, nice. You know, like even a $20 deck and you do it for 4 people, that's like, you know, $80, right? Like that's not easy to do. So, you know, like, you know, I'm not sure what that is, you know, how to make that better. You know, the problem is that it starts out really well, but then there's power creep, and then eventually people just can't keep up with, you know, the people that have more money, you know. And I think maybe there's like maybe a house rule or something you should make that, you know, you're only allowed to like make it almost like a league, you know, and say like, okay, so we are going to start off with so much money and or whatever draft or whatever, and then you can buy like add 1 pack to your collection or whatever, like every so often, and it might make it a little bit better, you know, that way. Encourage some more trading or something like that. Man, every time I see fungal infection, I just think of like, you know, introducing yourself to, you know, offering to trade. It's bad. Guardians of Koilos foil. Lyra Dawnbringer. Oh, man, this box is amazing. This is a really good box. Okay, and another Sapperling. Man, I'm still not even done. I think I have like four left, including the one I'm holding. So, all right. So I like this opt. So I don't know. What do you think? How can we make this game better? How can we get more young people involved? You know, like, do we need to lower the price of standard? Or Daring Archaeologist? I really like that card too. And another Slim Voda. Or maybe we have multiple leagues. Like, not just friendly and competitive, but maybe have like budget league, right? Like where the cost of the deck has to be below a certain amount, you know, or something like that. Not just pauper, but like budget standard, you know, maybe that would be good, you know, and actually have like, you know, like real prize support for that. I think that, oh man, that's a kind of weird art. The guy's got like eyeballs all over him. That's kind of gross. Like I think that seeing how people can be creative, like in, let's say, a $50 limit, you know, could be really good. You know, it's just hard because, like, how do you control that? You know, so, like, how, if someone comes in with a $55 deck, are you gonna, like, really price out their whole deck? Maybe it's just on the honor system or something like that. I don't know. It's a tough one. Right, so, like, I'm not sure how to handle that, but, I mean, we need to grow the game. We need to make things, you know, like, welcoming for new and young players and make it easier for people to get into it, you know, because I think this game is awesome. I've really enjoyed it, and I made a lot of friends playing it, you know, spent a lot of time, you know, really enjoying playing this game. You know, it'd be a shame for it to just die off. So anyways, last one. Come on, another card. Am I being too greedy? Okay, short sword, vicious offering, nature spiral, lingering phantom, Torgar, famine incarnate. All right, well, that's decent. And Sapperling token. All right, so that's the first box. I think that I don't have the price up just yet, but I mean, hell, I don't think it could get much better. I got Lyra Dawnbringer and Karn and Teferi, like, you know, those are amazing, sweet cards. So I think it's a win on this one. Anyways, I'm gonna edit this video and try and put it up. Remember, try and check out the links to the other channels in the kitchen table community. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
To join an amazing Magic the Gathering community, check out kitchentablемtg.com.